The world has come to what makes you happy is worth risking joy. And this they're not the same. So if what
Are you unhappy?
No, I'm very happy.
Are you joyful?
I'm both. But and I'm happy because I place my happiness in what brings me joy.
But if you're not joyful.
No, because what brings me joy, right? What brings me joy is watching my daughter with her mother. That brings me joy when I watch them. You know what makes me happy? Going to Colombia on a yacht. It's a big difference.
Sure, there's prostitutes out there, baby.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying
is happiness.
No, that's way too expensive.
With her
It's way too expensive. It's $75, and we're not getting off topic.
$75.
We're not getting off topic. But what I'm saying, what brings you happy versus what brings you joy is not the same thing, because happiness comes and happiness goes, but what brings you joy will last forever. So when you're dealing with a family unit,
You shouldn't expect any happiness?
no, I'm not saying you shouldn't
need spurts of
expect.
happiness
What
to
I'm
bring the
saying
joy.
is some of your happiness is going to be detrimental to the joy. Some of it, not all of it. If what brings you happiness is going out to eat as a family, then go ahead. That's what brings you happy or brings you happiness. But if what makes you happy is having a weekend where you're out here going
Can
out.
you not do both? Can you not have a baby and go to Colombia and have family dinners?
You can do whatever your relationship requires. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You're pinpointing. No. Stop. You're pinpointing on what I'm talking about for the analogy. I'm just speaking in general with examples. So what brings you happiness can affect what brings you joy. So if I want to go on a yacht, which brings me happiness, with 5 women, and I know that that's going to mess up my home life, that brings me joy. My happiness is not worth my joy.
Okay,
simple.
Okay, but babe, if you're in a relationship with a woman,
Don't call me babe.
okay, Rico.
Thank you.
Rico, disciplined Mr. Rico, who only has joy and happiness separately. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're in a relationship with a woman,
Yes, ma'am.
and she knows you, I know Rico, I know he likes to go on the yacht 5 days a week, wherever
Yes,
the fuck
ma'am.
you like to do to bring you happiness, not joy. I'm going to be in a relationship with someone who understands what brings me happiness and what also brings me joy. And when I leave the house to get joy, or I forgot what the fuck the difference was. If I get
I know
happiness,
you got to read more.
Joy is forever.
No, babe, I don't need to
You got to read more. You got to read more.
Happiness is fleeting.
Oh, happiness is fleeting, joy is forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have a relationship that only understands my joy and not my happiness, then that person doesn't understand me in wholeness. I personally,
said,
I'm telling you, are you listening now? Because you told me I didn't read enough. Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
When I'm in a relationship with someone that knows me in my full wholeness, they're going to understand what brings me joy and what brings me happiness, because both are relevant. Because to have happiness, you have to have moments of joy. Fleeting joy brings ultimate long-term happiness. Are you happy with that definition? So my boyfriend in the other room, he knows certain things are going to bring me happiness or joy, and he's going to say, hey, babe, this is your weekend to go have joy, get the boat rid or whatever the fuck by 4 niggas.
No, it's not.
Well, he's in the other room. You can ask him. So we have a relationship in which he knows Jamila and my wholeness. I don't have to suppress. I don't have to suppress.
Call the conversation.
I don't have to suppress.
How was that hard for you to find?
It is difficult to find, and it's difficult to maintain. It's not every day.
How long have y'all been together?
A year and a half.
How long have you been doing your podcast?
4.
Okay, so if you didn't have success on your side, would you still been able to find this man?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you think because I'm successful I can find
You become a higher value woman.
It does.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
High value, there's kind of more eyes on you.
I've been a high value woman before I had a successful podcast.
Okay, so then there you go.
I was born a high value woman.
There you go.
And that's the problem with society, and that's the problem with these type of conversations, is because with women, we often remove your worth because you have to have some type of credential. I'm worthy women are birthed worthy. I can birth people. I'm a black woman. I birthed fucking humanity. I am powerful. I am magical. And there is no title or amount of money that makes me worthy. Period. No nigga gives me worthiness. Nothing. But if I have a relationship with a friend who respects and knows and loves me in my wholeness, in my entirety, there is not going to be other sacrifices in family. Absolutely. In parenthood, absolutely. I can't do all the things I did. I have to go home and go fucking do things. I have to make lunches. I have to drop off kids for school. However, I am still feeding all parts of me because I recognize that every part of me is worth feeding.
I do believe you can find happiness in a relationship, but I don't think you just, go on a date and then boom, Mr. Perfect walks through the door. I think that you have to be brutally honest, radically honest in relationships so that when my happiness shows up, you're not shocked. well, about what my happiness is. I think a lot of times people walk into relationships wearing masks and they aren't honest. And, you know, thankfully for me and Jamila's platform, yeah, we are successful, but it has been a motherfucking grind. I did podcasting for about 3 years without making a dime. So, like, don't get it twisted. Like, this shit is not it's shiny and shit, but we worked our fucking asses off. But with that said, the way I feel about relationships and things are on the internet, I know that not every man is going to be for me.
Most men are not.
I know that a man might look at me and say, ew, that's a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, she might talk about me on the show, or oh, she, you know, she believes that, you know, nothing lasts forever, so I can't build with her, or all these different things that I might have said. But I know that the person that's for me, we're gonna be able to communicate and we're gonna have an understanding. So you're obviously like I would never date you. We have totally different ideals about things, but your partner, she's the one for you. You guys share those ideals, and that's why it works for you. And we always say on our show, we are not perfect. You know, a lot of times I know we're people's guilty pleasure. You know, they don't actually want to live the life that we live in ways, but they like to tap in and also know, wow, like that's an option. And then sometimes that is their option. That's their new option. We had a girl that just came, speaking of marriage and stuff, we had a girl who came on our retreat in Costa Rica and is now divorcing her husband. You know, and did we encourage her? Did we encourage her to divorce her husband? Absolutely not. No way. No. But she came and she tapped into herself and she discovered something about herself that had been laying dormant, and now she's making a choice for herself, and she has a child, and she's gonna have to start over again, and she's fucking activated, and she's ready, and she's excited about it, so she will succeed. So this narrative that women, if they leave, it's all based in fear. And if you're a woman listening to this, please ignore everything that they just said, okay? And don't even worry about that shit. Because you absolutely can succeed, and you will succeed, because you are the birther of all this shit. Oh. And it might not look the same, but that's life, baby. It's life. Shit changes. We evolve and we change, and there's someone else better fit for you. And that's it. Like, you can't live your life in fear. Y'all don't live your life in fear. Once you leave, it's not like this dire thing, like you're just out on the street. You might be, bitch, maybe. But I'm just saying that there are options. You have to ask for help. You have to be okay asking for help.
It may not look like what you thought it was going to look like. It may look like you finding a homegirl and you guys switching off on when you're going to pick up for soccer or when you're going to go on trips together. Me and Erica take our kids on trips together. They're on soccer together. Hey, can you take her to Mexico for a week? I'll take them the next week. There are different ways in which your family can look like. It doesn't have to look like this old school fairy tale fucking thing. That doesn't always exist that way. And if that doesn't serve you, that's okay. Does it mean it's never going to come back around? No. We just believe in like growth and happiness and self-sufficiency and actually paying attention to your intuition and what that looks like for you, and thinking for self and thinking what makes me feel good, what's going to help me grow. And just because someone's not beating you doesn't mean that that's the minimal requirement to keep a nigga.